Okay, so we're going to do several videos in the upcoming weeks on MovieMaker. And as I discussed before, MovieMaker is something I like to use because it's free, and I find it to just be a good tool to know how to use in putting pieces together into a project that you can publish and then put onto a service like YouTube. So today I just want to go over a couple of quick get started kind of items. First of all is how you can go in and check that your webcam and your mic is working properly within MovieMaker. Nothing's more frustrating than going in and having difficulty with your microphone or your webcam. So we'll go over just a few ideas on how you can make sure that those are set up correctly, and then also talk about how you could use MovieMaker to make a webcam video, something you could take directly from here into YouTube, or that you could use as pieces of something else. So I'm in MovieMaker right now, and different versions of MovieMaker will look different, but this is one of the more recent versions that are out there, and they all work very similar. So if you know how to use one, the other ones normally you can figure out pretty easily. But in here I have some options on the top with add videos, add webcam video, take a snapshot. So before I just go to any of these, I'm going to look at what is set up in the boxes for what my webcam and my microphone are. So I'm going to go up to this little options box here and hit the down arrow, and I'm going to go to options within that window. And within this window, we have a general, webcam, captions, and trust center options. So I'm going to go to the webcam one. We see that here it says this is where you select an audio device and a webcam. So if you had several different devices in place, you might have more than one choice in this drop-down menu. Right now I only have the one, which is the Logitech USB headset, which is what I'm using right now. And my available webcams, again, if I had a couple, I might be able to select different ones. But right now all I have is the integrated webcam that came with my laptop. So that's kind of how it's set up, which works out well for me. You might do a test run, so before you go in and want to do a final version or talk for several minutes, you may just want to do a quick test with MovieMaker to make sure that it's seeing you and that you get some audio while you play it back. Normally you can tell pretty easily whether the webcam's working because you'll either see yourself or you won't. But with a microphone, sometimes you can go through and you can talk for a while, and it won't be until you play that audio or that video later that you'll notice that maybe the audio wasn't working the way it should. So I would suggest you go in and just do a quick test. That way, if it's not working, you can problem solve without having thought you were finished and then finding out that you still have some work to do. So I'm just going to do OK here, and we'll tell you that if the problem is not with one of the setups here, then it could be with your actual control panel. So if you want to look at some of your other options, you can go down to your Start menu and go into your Control Panel, Hardware and Sounds, and of course this is a Windows 7 machine, so it'll look a little bit different if you were in Windows XP. But Playback is one of the first options I get here, and these are the different options I have for playback. So right now it's set on the speakers, which is fine. For recording, these are the different options I have, and you have a microphone setting here, which is my Logitech USB headset. It's the default device. And you can see right now, just by speaking, that I'm getting a reading off of that microphone letting me know that that is connected. I have had times where I've gotten some confusion between different microarrays, such as this one, and my microphone. So I've had to actually disable some of the other ones to make sure that it is picking this one up as the default. And to do that, I can go in here and right-click my mouse, hit a disable button, and that will disable that device. If I have a disabled device, a lot of times they won't show up in this menu, but if I go to anywhere on the screen and hit the right button again, I can show my disabled devices, and that will allow me to re-enable them if I've disabled them for using my microphone, and then later on I don't want to use that any longer. And then sounds, there's options over here too. So the recording and the playback is normally where you'll spend most of your time if you need to change something within the control panel itself. So coming back to MovieMaker, let's say we wanted to make a webcam video right now. So to do that, I go up to the webcam button here. That will initiate my camera, and you'll see me. Hi, everybody. And at this point, when I'm seeing my video coming up, I have a record button, a stop, and a cancel. And so I'll have the record button is where I, of course, need to start it, and then stop will be to stop that video and to save that clip. So the thing to keep in mind about this is that certainly wherever your webcam is, that is what you want to look at least part of the time. If you don't, then it look kind of like you're looking somewhere else on the screen, so somebody watching it really won't feel connected to your video. So what I've found is that if my webcam, since this one can't really be moved, it's just in the middle of my screen, I'll hit the record button, then I'll kind of move my mouse over mentally to where I know the stop will be, and that way when I'm finished I can just hit the button. I won't have to look down to see where that stop button is. You can also pause since Movie Maker allows you to cut pieces off the front or anywhere throughout the video. If you record and when you're done you just pause for a second and then you go down to look and hit the stop button, that'll give you some space on the end where you can cut that video and you won't have to try to find a good stopping place at the end where you went down and click stop and you really can't cut it out because you still have some content you want to get out to people. So in this case I would go and I would start my recorder. I'd say something when anything I wanted to. When I'm done, you'll see this little countdown or count up button on the bottom that gives me an idea of how long I've spent there. When I'm done I'll just hit stop. Now it'll give me an option of where I want to save that to. And then, so it saves here in the Windows Media File format, which is okay for the Windows Movie Maker and for YouTube. So in this case, I would be able to go back in. I could rename this file test 1. After I save this, then it'll show up within my box. And if I were to play this, I'd be able to play through my video. I'd also be able to hear that the audio is working fine. And this will be the first clip you would have. And like I said, this is something you could actually take and you could put through, you could just publish it as a movie, be done with it, or put it from the save file directly into YouTube if you liked what you saw. Or you could take it and do some editing things or use this as one piece within a larger project where maybe you have an introduction, some videos you put together, some music with it, maybe credits at the end, and then you want to publish that whole movie at the end before you put it into YouTube. So that's kind of how you might be able to use Movie Maker, at least get started with it. In the next coming weeks, we'll talk a little bit more about how you could do some of the more interesting pieces of Movie Maker, putting stuff together, adding captions to it, or adding audio, adding an introduction to it, those type of things, so that you'll be able to publish maybe a little more polished looking version of whatever video you wanted to have.